down there because I was in California in the Robinson Safety Course all week. You went down there.
Yep.
In this helicopter, right?
Yep, 5'8" Lima Echo.
So you went down there with TJ in Houston, and you guys were pretty much the only Robinsons?
We were definitely one of the only Robinsons down in the area. There was a couple more that once the TFR had became less stringent, got in and started doing some work, but pretty much once the hurricane hit, we were down there doing all the small stuff that most of the large helicopters could not perform, such as medical resupplies of transferring families out of real tight spots, being able to take electricians and whatnot to restore electricity in the town of Beaumont and Vider, and then also as well as plumbers for, as everyone kind of knows, that the national news kind of highlighted on that there was no water in Beaumont for almost two weeks. So we were taking those guys out to the specific points so that they could work on the city water and the towers that would bring back electricity for everybody. The larger helicopters, the larger airframes were there to do the primary rescues, go in, take a chainsaw to a roof to get people out of the attics, things like that. They have a primary role.
And you were able to work with the FAA and the local FISTO and get that special permission to be in there because they had a TFR up on the area.
You had to request a specific discrete beacon code, similar to squawking a specific code on your transponder. They only designated a select number of aircraft, probably 60 is where I heard at one point, and everybody was on specific beacon codes so that there was a little bit more control in the area. We had medevac helicopters that were down there that were designated as FEMA aircrafts. Everyone kind of had just a specific code in front of their name, and that's how everyone kind of worked together, and just a really heightened ATC presence was there coordinating everybody because, for instance, we were really low level up and down constantly, whereas the majority of the Blackhawks and Chinooks and medevac helicopters and whatnot were doing more surveys looking for people that are waving their hands on the top of their roofs and stuff like that, whereas that application was not something that we would go in and help out on. They were too small, and landing on a roof is not safe, whereas a Blackhawk can go down and send a crew member down to put them onto a long line and put them in a basket and bring them back up way safer, whereas we were getting down into the thick of things and dropping off tools and medical supplies and passengers and whatnot to go fix things.
So how did they organize it? Did they have it to where they had certain crews had like a sector or something that they would take care of, or they were sent out on individual missions just to keep them separated and keep not too many aircraft in the same area?
Yeah, so from what I heard, overhearing like a lot of the military folks that were there, is people had sector. They had to deal with a lot of crew time on, time off things, but there was so many aircrafts down there that they would send select aircraft out on missions for a given sector. Whereas we were kind of at a free-for-all. Wherever our liaisons were sending us, that's where we went. So once, like for instance, when we found out that Beaumont was ultimately worse than Houston, once the water receded from Houston, we went to Beaumont because they were just kind of, once again, getting overlooked. And that's where we came into play, and we pretty much spread out all over the town of Beaumont, Vider, Mauriceville, all those places that were 20 feet of water standing.
I just came up I-10 the other day, and it's still, there's a lot of deep water there, whereas in Houston, for the most part, there's small patches, but it's mostly receded.
Yep. Obviously, the water levels definitely receded in Houston. I'm not going to downplay what happened in Houston. Sure. They definitely got hit hard. There's a lot of families and homes that are destroyed because of it. But kind of like an example would be is all the homes that were affected in Beaumont are still underwater, whereas everybody's on cleanup mode in Houston right now. That just really, from my understanding, it is because Beaumont is right. The water that came from the storm surge flooded into the city and is standing still, and now all of the river water is meeting in the center, and that's where it's having trouble flooding out or receding outward.
Did you just have one point of contact at like a headquarters in an area, and basically you dealt with one guy and he would give you missions to fly?
Yep, specifically like with the FAA, there was an agency within the FAA that took over the TFRs, and that's how we got those beacon codes that allowed us to go in there and do these missions. Once we had that specific discrete code, then we worked with a liaison from FEMA, reaching out to all these companies and agencies and figuring out, you know, what type of small jobs needed to be done, and then we would get tasked once we had basically a job.
How was the ATC set up? Like, was everybody kind of on one frequency, or was it broken down?
Yeah, so that became a challenge because there was so much chatter on the frequencies. We would switch between approach frequencies very regularly. One moment you're leaving Beaumont Municipal, getting on with approach on 1213, contacting them saying, "Hey, this is what I'm going to be doing." They're like, "Okay, so sounds good. I'm going to switch you over to 13445." We get over to 13445. There was a little confusion there. They'll have you switch over to another one until that controller was not that busy. We were very low level, about I would say, 300 feet below, and a lot of the stuff, because just for safety in regards to all the Blackhawks, were probably 500 to 600, so we wanted to stay out of their way while they were getting a good view of who was needing help down there. And so we were flying low level, getting to our spots, which really made it a challenge to get on with any approach. Just like everybody knows, you have to gain a little bit of altitude to get on with approach.
Did you ever get tasked like through ATC while you were en route to something, or while you were in the air, or was it pretty much only once you'd already completed a task and then you were back in?
That did happen at one point, and it was a really quick turnover. It was, could you go over to this spot and verify that there is a group of people down there waiting, and I mean, it was literally like 2 miles off to my right-hand side. I think they just chose me because I was right next to it.
Yeah, I had talked to you pretty much all week because I was pretty busy myself in California. And then when I was heading back, we had a quick conversation, and you were saying that you guys are pretty much flying, all day long, and you were in the same pair of clothes that you showed up in, basically, and just
yeah, well, and that brings up a really good point of the people at Beaumont and the people at Houston. We pretty much slept at complete strangers' house. They fed us, they helped us wash our clothes. We got a good night's sleep, and we were back at it in the morning for almost 2 weeks straight. Almost all the hotels, as you can imagine, were completely booked down there or completely flooded. And so there was no chance of that. A team of 2 was easier. We're able to get a shower on people that had their own well.
Oh, nice.
Not having to deal with city water and whatnot.
You're telling me you reached out to Gatorz, the people who make actually the glasses that I'm wearing.
Yep.
Tell me about them and what they.
So yeah, I can't thank Gatorz enough. I've worn Gatorz almost my entire skydive career and into aviation. They're a super well-built, high-strength pair of sunglasses that are shatter resistant and are just sexy as hell. And what they did for Hurricane Harvey, they put out on blast that every pair of sunglasses that was purchased, they would donate another pair of sunglasses to emergency crews, first responders, pilots, just everybody that's helping in relief of Hurricane Harvey. So, I saw that, I shared it, and then went on to contact Gatorz and said, hey, I don't know how we get onto that list, but there's we're here at Beaumont Municipal Airport jobbing out, and I'm sure that if we could get on that list, that'd be great. And they went as far as responded back to me and saying, how many do you need? And so now they have sent us over 40 sunglasses that we're going to get to the proper personnel that helped out down in Harvey.
Yeah, and you've got all the contact for the Black Hawk pilots and the Coast Guard guys.
All the pilots, all the crews that were down there, we're going to kind of ration out those sunglasses. And just can't thank Gatorz enough. They're part of the Navy SEAL Foundation. They have linked up with CrossFit. They have linked up with all types of outstanding corporations that do a lot of really cool stuff. I think they just got a solid group of folks working there for them.
And I might see if I can reach out to Gatorz and maybe get a coupon code for you guys. If I can get that, I'll throw it in the comment or put it in the description, and you could use that on their website to get a little discount.
So I did reach out to Gatorz, and they got back in touch with me. And when I told them about this video and that Bryan and I would be talking about Harvey relief efforts and thanking them for being awesome and helping out, they hooked us up with a 20% discount code on their online store that'll give you a discount on your entire shopping cart. And when you check out, just enter the code CRITICALANGLE, all one word, and the discount will be applied. Now this code's going to be valid till the end of the month, so make sure to pick you up a pair before then. Gatorz is an American company. The built aluminum that they're made of really feels like high quality while still being lightweight on your face. They got a lifetime warranty, and their customer service is really top-notch. I've owned other brand name sunglasses in this same category and price range, and those plastic glasses just feel cheap and flimsy in your hands. These are also impact resistant and ballistic rated, so for all you shooters out there as well, these are some great sunglasses to use at the range. I just want to add a quick caveat that I'm not making any money off this code. It's just a little way to give back to you guys and show my appreciation for you, as well as support a great company that I believe in. I've been wearing my pair of Gatorz that I purchased a few months before we shot this video, and I'm just loving them so far. The ones I have on in the video are the Magnums, their most popular model, but they have a bunch of different other pretty cool styles to choose from and customize.
Yeah, man. It's one of those things where not only does it feel good that I got to help out, but it also, anybody that's in aviation can kind of agree with me that in regards to just a steam building and a skills building and just confidence building, this type of thing, it just made my piloting abilities and confidence that much better.
Obviously it was devastating what happened down there, but pretty amazing experience from a flying standpoint on
absolutely
on the kind of things that most people don't get to do unless you're in search and rescue.
The type of skill level that those folks have, because they've been doing this type of thing for years and thousands of hours, was kind of a crash course, and it just made me love aviation even more. So, for you guys that are out there that maybe didn't get to partake or have aspirations to go do search and rescue, it's totally worth it. And it just made my desire to go to search and rescue and those types of relief missions in the future that much more. So keep pushing.
Right on, man.
Yep.